But it's funny because I'm like, the one they talking about, that's gonna be the one God bless. Watch what I tell y'all. Watch what I tell y'all.
Chrisean walking on his own should have been one of those sweet internet moments where everybody claps, cries, and pretends they are not refreshing the timeline every 3 seconds. But because this is Chrisean's world, even a baby milestone somehow turned into a full-blown family courtroom with fans shocked, critics typing essays, and everybody asking why the good news did not come from his actual mother first. The internet went from he's walking to wait, who leaked? This faster than a Zeus reunion fight turning from hugs to hair pulling, because according to the viral chatter, one of Chrisean's sisters was allegedly so excited that she told everybody the baby was taking steps, even while admitting she was not sure if Chrisean wanted that moment shared yet. And that is where the sweetness got messy, because fans immediately started side-eyeing the whole situation like this was not just a milestone, but another episode in the never-ending Chrisean family circus. People were happy for Junior, emotional for Chrisean, proud of the progress, but also asking one brutal question that nobody could ignore if this was Chrisean's baby, Chrisean's journey, Chrisean's private victory, and Chrisean's moment too. Share, then why did the internet hear it from somebody else first? Now the internet loves a baby milestone, but when it comes to Chrisean Rock's world, even the cutest moment can turn into a full courtroom drama with everybody wearing imaginary robes and typing like they passed the bar exam on TikTok University. Chrisean Jr. allegedly walking on his own should have been a soft, emotional, everybody clap for the baby type of moment, but instead, the timeline grabbed that little update and dragged it straight into family business, sister drama, clout accusations, and the same messy circus that never seems to clock out. Fans were shocked, not just because Junior was taking steps, but because the way the news reached the internet had people side-eyeing the entire family. Set up because, let's be honest, the actual headline was beautiful at first. Chrisean Jr., the baby so many people have watched, debated, defended, prayed over, criticized, and turned into a full internet talking point, was allegedly walking. That alone had people emotional. Because for months, fans have watched Chrisean get judged over every single parenting move, every appearance, every video, every silence, and every decision. So hearing that her son was progressing hit differently, especially for the people who have been rooting for him through all the noise, but instead of the moment landing like a peaceful celebration, it came wrapped in a suspicious little package labeled, "Wait, why did someone else say it first?" And that is exactly where the drama started bubbling like somebody left a Zeus reunion pot on high heat, according to the transcript. One of Chrisean's sisters was allegedly heard saying that the baby had taken steps and that she saw it with her own eyes, while also admitting she did not know if Chrisean wanted her to say anything. And baby, that one detail is what made the internet slam the brakes. Because excitement is one thing, but saying you are not sure someone wants their private baby milestone announced, then announcing it anyway, is the kind of move that makes people stare at the screen like, so privacy just packed a bag and left. The speaker in the transcript was clearly irritated, and honestly, you could hear why. The point was not that people were mad about Junior walking, because nobody with a functioning heart was mad about baby progressing. The issue was about ownership of the moment. This was Chrisean's child, Chrisean's motherhood journey, Chrisean's emotional update, and Chrisean's right to share it whenever she felt ready. But somehow, the news appeared to slip into the public before she got to control the narrative herself, and that turned the whole thing from how sweet into who gave the family group chat permission to become a press conference, and fans immediately started picking sides like this was the NBA draft of messy relatives. Some people said the sister was probably just genuinely excited and did not mean harm, because sometimes family members get emotional and run their mouth before their brain catches up. But others were not buying that soft explanation at all. They said the moment looked thirsty, attention-seeking, and way too convenient, especially because Chrisean's name always brings traffic, views, comments, and a crowd in their eyes. This was not just excitement, this was somebody sprinting to the internet with news that was not theirs to announce. What made it even messier was the emotional context around Chrisean's parenting. The transcript points out that Chrisean has allegedly been the one taking her son to therapy, working with him, loving on him, and keeping certain details private while the internet keeps demanding updates like they are owed. CUSTODY paperwork. That is why the milestone matters. It was not just a baby taking steps. It was a mother possibly watching progress after pressure, criticism, and constant public judgment. So when somebody else got to tell the world first, it felt to some fans like the emotional trophy was snatched out of Chrisean's hands before she even reached the stage. And that is where the family angle got ugly, because the speaker did not stop at "that was wrong." She went straight into accusing Chrisean's sisters of using her name, her spotlight, her chaos, and even her personal moments for clout. She basically framed it like Chrisean is the celebrity engine, and everybody around her keeps trying to ride in the passenger seat while pretending they are not enjoying the attention. That accusation hit hard because fans have seen this pattern before, or at least they think they have. Every time Chrisean has a major public moment, somebody close to her ends up saying something, reacting, shading, defending, exposing, or turning the situation into content. So now, instead of just celebrating Junior walking, the internet started dragging up the bigger question: does Chrisean even have a safe circle? Because when your own family might announce private moments before you do, that makes every victory feel like it needs a security guard. Fans were saying this should have been the type of update Chrisean posted when she was ready, maybe with a sweet caption, maybe with tears, maybe with pride, maybe with silence until she felt comfortable. But no, the internet allegedly got the news through someone else's excitement, and suddenly the whole thing felt less like a family celebration and more like a leaked album drop. Then came the comparison storm. Because the timeline never knows when to act normal, people started treating the situation like a reality TV scene, saying Chrisean's family dynamic is giving Kardashians without the glam squad, WWE without the referee, and Zeus backstage without the security team pretending they can actually stop anything. 1 minute the baby milestone was making people smile, and the next minute fans were analyzing sister loyalty, motherhood boundaries, family betrayal, and whether Chrisean's relatives understand that not every personal update needs to be fed to the internet like raw meat. And of course, because this is the Blueface Chrisean universe, the conversation did not stay on one clean road for more than 5 seconds. The transcript also dragged in Jaden, Neve, Carlissa, baby comments, alleged hypocrisy, and all the extra side characters who somehow keep orbiting this story like Marvel heroes in the messiest cross. Silver nobody asked Disney to produce. That is when the baby milestone became bigger than itself. It turned into another chapter in the ongoing saga where every child-related update becomes a public debate, every family comment becomes ammunition, and every woman connected to Blueface gets pulled into the same chaotic blender. But the heart of the situation stayed the same. Chrisean Jr. allegedly walking should have been a win. It should have been one of those rare internet moments where even the messy pages pause the shade and say, "Okay, this is beautiful." Instead, it became a question about respect, timing, loyalty, and whether Chrisean is surrounded by people who protect her peace or people who cannot resist the spotlight when her name starts trending. And that is why fans were not just shocked by the milestone, they were shocked by the way the milestone became public property before Chrisean got to frame it herself. By the time the clip started making noise, the emotional temperature had already shifted. Some fans were celebrating Junior, others were defending Chrisean, and a whole separate crowd was dragging the sister for allegedly turning a private mommy moment into timeline currency. The messier part is that nobody could fully separate the joy from the drama anymore, because the update arrived with controversy attached to it like a designer tag on chaos. And now everybody is waiting to see if Chrisean will respond, ignore it, confirm it, post her own video, or quietly make it clear that her family needs to stop treating her life like breaking news. And once the internet realized that this was not just about Chrisean Jr. taking steps, but about who got to announce those steps, the whole conversation started multiplying like gremlins after midnight. One side was screaming, "Leave the baby out of the mess and celebrate the milestone," while the other side was already pulling out screenshots, old family arguments, and emotional receipts like they were building a case for Supreme Court. Shade division. Suddenly, everybody had an opinion on sister loyalty, parenting boundaries, family clout, and whether Chrisean's private moments keep getting treated like bonus content. The wild part is how fast the tone shifted from wholesome to hostile. At first, fans were genuinely happy because Jer's progress is the kind of thing people wanted to see. That is where the internet courtroom energy got ridiculous. People were writing full closing arguments in the comments, acting like they were presenting evidence to Judge Judy with a ring light. One side said Chrisean's sister owed her an apology. Another side said Chrisean should be grateful people are celebrating her son. And a third side was just yelling, "Can we please focus on the baby walking?" But because this is the internet, the most reasonable comment always gets buried under the messiest one, and the messiest one always gets 20,000 likes. The biggest contradiction is that everybody claims they want peace for Chrisean, but the second something happens, peace gets thrown into a blender with gossip, sarcasm, and monetized chaos. Fans want her to be a better mother, but then dissect every private step of her parenting. People say the child should be protected, but then turn every update about him into a viral debate. They say families should support each other, but then cheer when family tension becomes public entertainment. It is giving reality TV meltdown with a prayer emoji in the caption. And through all of this, Chrisean herself becomes the quiet center of the storm, whether she responds or not. If she claps back, people will call her dramatic. If she says nothing, people will say she is bothered in silence. If she posts her own video, critics will accuse her of feeding the attention. If she does not post, fans will keep asking for proof. That is the trap of being Chrisean Rock online. Even your baby's milestone comes with commentary, suspicion, and strangers acting like they are co-managing your household. By the end of the escalation, the real question was no longer just is Jer walking? The bigger question became, can Chrisean have anything sacred without the internet turning it into a group project? Because a child taking steps should not need a crisis management team, a family loyalty audit, and a comment section jury. But here we are, watching a beautiful milestone get wrapped in accusations, jokes, side eyes, and public confusion. And the messiest part is that this may only be the beginning, because if Chrisean decides to speak, the timeline is going to explode all over again. After the first wave of shock started cooling down, the aftermath got even more emotional because people finally realized how strange the whole situation really was. A baby allegedly taking steps should have been a pure celebration, the kind of update that makes even the messiest comment section calm down for 5 seconds and say something nice. But instead, Chrisean's name was trending beside words like clout, privacy, sister, boundaries, and leaked moment, which is absolutely wild when the center of the story is a child simply reaching a milestone. That is when fans started saying this was not just internet mess anymore. This was a warning sign about how hard it must be for Chrisean to protect anything personal. The fallout hit different because Chrisean has spent so much time being judged that every update about her son comes with pressure attached. If she shows him, people analyze him like they are doctors with ring lights. And if she does not show him, people act like she is hiding a national secret. So when someone else allegedly puts a milestone into the public conversation before she does, it adds another layer of frustration for the fans who believe she never gets to control her own motherhood story. It is giving reality TV mother trying to have one peaceful scene while the producers are kicking the door open with 3 cameras and a boom mic. And now the sister's reputation is catching heat because fans are not just questioning the announcement, they are questioning the pattern. People are asking whether Chrisean's family understands that supporting her does not mean using her life as content whenever the internet starts paying attention. The accusation is not simply, "You said the baby was walking," because that part sounds sweet on paper. The accusation is, "You knew this might not be your news to tell, and you still told it because the timeline was listening." And that is where the emotional damage really starts looking expensive. Then the alliances started shifting in the comment section. Because some fans who usually dread Chrisean were suddenly defending her privacy. That alone tells you the situation was messy, because when even people who normally criticize her start saying, "Nah, that should have been her moment," the room has officially changed temperature. Others were still trying to keep the focus on Junior, saying the baby's progress matters more than grown adults arguing over who said what first. But the internet is allergic to balance. So even the reasonable takes got swallowed by the louder. Question: who benefits when Chrisean's private life becomes public before she is ready? The consequences could stretch beyond this one moment. Because now every future update about Junior might come with more suspicion. If Chrisean posts him walking later, some people will treat it like confirmation, while others will say she only posted because the news already leaked. If she stays quiet, fans will keep debating whether the family crossed the line, whether she is upset behind the scenes, and whether this is another reason she keeps distance from certain relatives. That is the exhausting part, because one baby Milestone has now turned into a storyline with chapters, reactions, theories, and imaginary season previews. And let's not forget how the Blueface universe always finds a way to drag everybody back into the same messy orbit. Jaden, Neve, Carlissa, Chrisean, the sisters, the critics, the fans, the baby updates, the pregnancy rumors, the old insults, the new shade. It all starts blending together like a reality show editor was told to make the finale twice as chaotic. That is why this story feels bigger than one video. It represents the entire problem around Chrisean's public life. Every soft moment gets invaded by noise, everyone gets attached to drama, and every family comment becomes another brick in the internet's messy little courthouse. But emotionally, the strongest part is still Junior himself, because no matter how loud the adults get, fans are genuinely happy to hear that he is progressing. That is the part nobody should lose in the chaos. People who have defended him, worried about him, prayed for him, and watched the criticism around him are now saying this milestone deserves joy, not another digital family fight. Yet the tragedy is that even good news in Chrisean's world has to fight through sarcasm, suspicion, family tension, and strangers acting like they have backstage passes to her life, and now the final twist is sitting right there, waiting to explode. What happens if Chrisean finally reacts? Because if she confirms the milestone with her own video, the internet will celebrate and still ask why she was not first. If she shades the sister, the family drama turns into a full Zeus reunion with no chairs left standing. If she ignores it, people will call the silence suspicious and start building theories out of thin air like they work construction on the gossip highway. So yes, Chrisean Jr. walking on his own shocked fans. But the real cliffhanger is whether this beautiful milestone becomes a healing moment for Chrisean, or the spark that exposes even deeper family tension behind the scenes. Now listen, if this Chrisean Jr. walking milestone had your timeline doing gymnastics, go ahead and smash that like button like it owes you back child support, rent money, and an apology text. Because somehow, a baby taking steps turned into family politics, sister side-eyes, clout accusations, and a whole internet courtroom with no judge, no order. And way too many people yelling from the back row. Drop your comments below and tell me the truth, because we need the jury seated immediately. Do you think Chrisean's sister was just excited and speaking from love? Or did she cross the line by sharing a moment that should have belonged to Chrisean first? And please do not come in the comments acting shy now, because y'all were already investigating like FBI interns with ring lights and unlimited WI-V. And if you are new here, subscribe to Fame Flaws, because clearly this drama universe does not believe in quiet days, peaceful updates, or normal family announcements. 1 minute we are celebrating a baby milestone. The next minute everybody is debating loyalty, boundaries, motherhood. And who needs to stay out of Chrisean's business before the group chat turns into a press conference? So like, comment, subscribe, and keep your notifications on before the next messy update drops and the internet starts flipping tables again. Because if Chrisean responds, if the sister doubles down, or if another family member jumps in trying to explain the explanation, baby, this story is going from sweet milestone to full-blown season finale. You already know where the chaos gets exposed first. Fame Flaws. Fame Flaws.